Hey yo, what is poppin'? What is really good? Ah, man. Let me just say, like, I'm impressed. I really am. I'm impressed. Um, Coming from Outriders and seeing how wrong everything was, and coming from Anthem and seeing how bad everything was, and coming from Borderlands as well, where Borderlands has evolved in the series. Like you had Borderlands 1 and 2, where when you would go in and you would like fight the end game fucking hunt boss thing, and you would kill it and it would just burst, and you'd have loot everywhere, spend like 10, 15 minutes just sifting through items. Like, that was the Borderlands I remember. Borderlands 3 kind of fell off. I don't know about Tiny Tina's. I don't have the ability to buy that game yet. Maybe in the future I'll pick it up. But for right now, I can't speak for it. But, like, from all these games, like, coming from these games, it's like there's always that one thing missing, right? You always have that one thing missing. I mean, to be fair, this game right here really, to me, maybe because it's new, I've I've been kind of hyped for it. I've put in a lot of time into it. I mean, I'm still in the campaign. I've been playing through it with a buddy of mine. So like, I'm still not end game. I'm still not at that point of like peak, where I'm finally seeing where the game goes when it hits that end game peak. But I have seen certain things towards it, and they kind of have me a little bit hyped for certain aspects. But as for like gameplay, this game has literally done everything that we, as a community from Outriders and as a community from Anthem, what we actually wanted. I mean, you know, I'll go into the things as I kind of showcase this, um, and I'll explain it. But to be fair, this game is phenomenal. And it's surprising that it's gone under so many radars. And I think it's mostly because people portray Final Fantasy games to be strictly solo. And with this game being a three-player co-op, I think people just kind of let it slip under the radar. But let's go over a couple things, because this is no longer the demo. Like, I have the full game now. I want to kind of notate some things that I've seen up to this point that really kind of like kept me going with this game so far. So, here's the world map. It's not your traditional Final Fantasy where you're just running around in an open world. It's more dungeon-esque based where you're like dungeon delving. But you come over here, you hit options, you have all your stuff, right? So we'll start with job trees. Come into job trees, and now you have all your jobs, right? Like in Outriders, you had your Trickster, your Devastator, your whatever classes are in there. I don't even remember them all by name. That's sad. But over here, it's kind of the same thing, right? Like you have Paladin, Dark Knight, Samurai, Dragoon, and it all starts off in the early basics. Like you start off, you have a sword fighter, right? That's your class. You have the sword fighter. As you start going through and loot starts to drop, you start acquiring different weapons. And as you start acquiring different weapons, you start unlocking different types of jobs. So, like with the sword fighter, you're running around with a great sword. You might pick up a one-handed sword and shield, right? Then all of a sudden you have the swordsman, which is your secondary. I believe when you first start off the game, you have the swordsman as your secondary. Then you get Ronin when you finally pick up a katana. Pugilist pops up when you get your first fist weapon. Marauder when you get an axe. Mage when you get your first mace. I think they use maces in this game instead of staves. But yeah, when you get your first mace, you get the mage class. You get to go between like red mage, white mage, black mage, and at the end of it all, you get sage. But you get the gist of where I'm going. Lancer gets the spears, and then from here you travel down as you unlock perks and different things towards the class, such as like different attack skills for combinations and so forth. You come down here, then you'll end up hitting your next job tier, and you can then evolve that job tier. Like, for instance, we'll come over here to Ronin. You work your way all the way down here. Now you have two pathings. You can either choose to go samurai, or you could choose to go warrior. So if we go samurai, we'll go ahead and transfer over to advanced. Samurai's right here. We'll go ahead and now level down samurai. Now samurai has two branches to go to when it maxes out. Now you have ninja or breaker. And of course you don't have to take these tiers. You don't have to, right? You could literally just play whatever you want. To be fair, it just literally gives you the ability to push into different things, to try different stuff. And what's cool is like where you have ninja here and then you have breaker. Most of these need, if you notice on the right side, it says jobs required to unlock, right? You'll need like thief and samurai. So you would need to max out samurai all the way down here to ninja, and then you would have to, right here, thief, you would have to max this all the way down here to ninja. And once you do that, it'll unlock the ability to now go ninja. And then you come through here, and now you have your ninja class, which is your expert, and that'll be your final tier of classes. And what's cool about these is they allow you to use a multitude of different weapons, right? Like in the beginning, ninja was only based off of katanas, right? Like you were starting out as a ronin, you were only able to use katanas, but then you mastered the ability of katanas and moved into different tiers. So now that you're in ninja, now you can use a multitude, like dual daggers here. Katana, as you can see, is still a thing. All different kinds of stuff. And each one has different kinds of ultimate abilities. Like, for the ninja, you get ninjutsu, right? And as you can see, ninjutsu allows you to throw out random elemental abilities at the targeted enemy, which is really, really cool. And that's a good example of what I was going to show off, like Assassin. Come over here, and I'll show off Assassin. Assassinate allows you to do as you see on the screen. Right? Come over here, I'll show you Liberator. Liberator gives you a buff that gives you basically, in that aura, anybody around you gets like certain amount of buffs, like HP regen and stuff like that. And so forth. You guys kind of get the point. Breaker gets this, gets a big sword, slices at things in basically a one-shot rooms if you're strong enough. Trust me, I've used it. And I've basically cleared like 6 enemies out in one swing before. It's pretty good. Anyway, that's besides the point. So, to kind of narrow this down so the video doesn't go too long, this is your job system. It's very in depth, like very in depth. Um, which then leads me over to the battle settings. You come in here, and now you have your gear, right? Where all your gear is. You come over here, and this is where you can just hit triangle to switch between your jobs. You can have two jobs at once, which means you can literally swap between like a paladin and a black mage on the fly, or go like dragoon and paladin like I'm doing, etc., etc. Just by hitting Y and or triangle in combat. It's really good, really fluid. But you have an affinity system too, right? And in those trees, you earn affinity. What the affinity points that you earn through the tree while you're unlocking the nodes does is it comes over here and like for we'll use paladin, right? You come in here at 20%, you get paladin's wisdom, which gives the corresponding stat of HP plus 25, right? And as you progress and you put more affinity onto your character, you get more of these buffs, right? Like Purifying Light grants immunity to all status ailments if you're literally maxing out your affinity at 400 for a paladin, right? Or gradually restores HP while Lightbringer's active, etc., etc., etc. That's basically the gist of how that works. And each piece of gear, also, if you see on the side, it has job affinity bonuses. So you can get weapons, gear, anything with an actual job affinity bonus that helps boost your character up even stronger than what it actually would be. Inside, also having the equipment effects as well. So you can have your weapons do like how mine imbues holy. Also has a spirit boost and does a buff duration. But what's really, really cool about this whole system, right? Like, it's so in depth. When you're coming from the Outriders community and you're looking at this, you're just like, well, it just kind of reminds me of the old like Outriders stuff, except for Outriders had the two perk slots and stuff like that. The gear's kind of similar in a way. It's really not though. So if I was to go and tab over to Cornelia and go to the smithy, right? I have three options from this tab. I can upgrade special effects, which is the three attributes on each piece of gear. I can upgrade those. Each one can upgrade 5 times, right? So you can get an increase as long as you have the materials required. I can change the special effects. Now, some of the people from Outriders are going to literally say, well, you could do that in Outriders too. Right. But I'm going to show you something. If I was to take this katana and take agility and put break on it, boom. Now I can come down here and take ability damage dealt. And you know what? I want strength on it. Boom. You know what? I don't like buff duration either. Let me go ahead and do all damage dealt. Boom. All 3 slots of this katana were completely editable. And that goes for all of the gear as well. This game allows you to 100% fully customize your entire build down to the statistics. Okay? And that's not even the whole major part of it, though. Like, if you come down here Now, when you're unlocking all your nodes in your gear in your job, sometimes you're unlocking different skills. Like, for instance, the R1, 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 R2, when you're using that combination. Then you'll unlock this skill right here, right? Which I hotkeyed because you can literally choose out of a list which ones you want to put on there, right? You literally customize your own combinations, how you want them to be, right? Like, say that you're a really good player at parrying, right? Like, you can parry like mad in this game. Well, you can also choose what skill you want to pop up after your parry. So you would parry, for me, with Tidal Tremor, you would parry and then follow up with that on your follow up attack, right? And that would be your follow up. And you can literally, like I said, you can literally customize all those combo abilities. And then you have command abilities. So these are essentially like buffs you can give yourself. Like, for instance, for me, I use Provoke on mine. It allows me, because I'm playing as a paladin, it allows me when I'm playing with my friend to grab aggro from things where I can tank things, turn them around, and let him do damage without being touched and dying. It allows me to do that and play a tank role. Sentinel allows me to cast a buff on myself to where until that buff reaches a certain damage threshold, I take no damage. Teleport removes my dodge and allows me to teleport around the map instead of actually rolling around, which is really nice for certain things because it allows you to just kind of like quickly move around the field rather than like rolling. It's basically like a really nice iframe. And and then Lightbringer, which you get that automatically. I don't know if you can ever change the skill out, but yeah, it's there. I don't even really remember what it is because I really never use it. And then you have an instant ability, which instant abilities are very interesting, right? Um, Instant abilities are essentially you have this move. It's called a soul shield. When a enemy casts any kind of magic and sometimes even regular range attacks, if you catch it with the soul shield, it allows you to absorb that skill and technically steal it from the enemy. And once you do so, you can then use your square option to cast it back at the enemy. Now, it's not permanent, it's not forever, and it's not unlimited. You only steal like one or two ability shots at a time. So, if you happen to, have, say you're fighting a Tonberry and it casts its I think it's called like Devastated People or something skill. I forget the name of it. If you catch it, you can then cast it back on him, which is really dope. Um, but that's basically what that is. But here's the kicker. With all the stuff I've mentioned, everyone's probably like, well, I mean, then gear must be terrible to multi-manage if you have so much stuff. No. You come here to change presets, and now you have loadouts. Everything you have in here, you can save as a loadout and literally just grab it whenever. Whenever. So, like, for instance, here's my loadout that I'm using right now, right? With the Dragoon and the paladin. I can hit square, or no, I can hit, or go right here to preset 2. Click this, save battle set. Are you sure you want to save battle set? Yes. And now look, preset 2 is now, boom. It's my current battle set. And you literally just go into battle set right here and you edit it however you want, or you just keep building your regular battle set as it is. And boom. Now you can even go in, you don't even have to like activate them to change them. You can literally just go boom, edit. Boom. Battle settings, and now you can just edit the battle set, or the loadout that way. And you're probably like, wow, there's 13 of them. Nope. Showed this off in my last video. A lot more than 13 of them. There's 100. There's 100 presets. You can literally build 100 loadouts using everything, gear and all. Boom, 100 loadouts. That's 100 different builds that you can have in this game to completely just blow away endgame, right? Your play styles, anything you can think of to build, even for just fun, metas, anything. You have 100 slots to save it all, and then go about your merry way. This game has fucking everything, my dudes, like everything. In Outriders community, we've been wanting loadouts from day one when we were literally playing in the beta, right? Which technically we'll call the beta the alpha because the game release was technically a beta, and we were asking for it back in the alpha, technically, right? People were like, "Yo, with all this stuff, I hope you guys are gonna add a loadout system," and they were like, "Nope, there's no plan on ever being a loadout system." Well, that sucked, right? Now you gotta fucking multi-manage everything. This game, not so much. Not so much. Multi-managing on this game is not too bad. Like, it's really not too bad. You know, the gear, changing the attributes, people were so pissed in Outriders because when you got legendary items, some of the legendary items came with what? Fucking max health. You didn't want max health. You wanted damage out of it, right? Because there was no other point to play anything other than like a damage build. So when you had this thing come up and it only had, and the attributes had like max health, you couldn't roll max health off of it. You couldn't touch the attributes. They were fucking static, or they were solid, right? They were literally like just stuck there. You couldn't do shit. They were static, right? This game, nope. Change all 3 of them, customize it how you want. You can tell the square was sitting in the back watching fucking Outriders fail and just do everything wrong, and they were taking notes like, yeah, we're gonna do this because they want this. Yep, we're gonna do this because they want that. The connections to the lobbies, you can either create a room or search for one. When you create a room, you can either specify missions, so that way you can have whatever you want. People have been wanting that in Outriders for so long, right? You can come down in here, you can even mark whatever kind of play styles you want people to have. You can set a password so that way you can, if you're a streamer and you want just your community to join you, you can set a fucking password so that your community has that password to just do drop in, drop out. It's great, right? Like, I'll go ahead and I'll just start up a party thing right quick just to kind of showcase, right? Create room. Watch how fast this thing creates a room. Boom. And as you can see, you see me on the side, right? There's a ready option. And as you send your friends in, right, they could either search for you via your room ID, which you can see up on the top left, Or you could just hit the touchpad, which technically I probably shouldn't do because I'm pretty sure that the PlayStation's real finicky with that shit. But if you look down at the bottom, it even says like hit the touchpad, right? Invite friend. Then you can hit L2. You have a little chat, right? Little chat. Boom, boom. Gotta fight. Are you ready? Right? Come over here. Right? Boom. You gotta literally just hotkey things for whatever, right? It's all right there. But go over here, select missions, right? You got all this right here. All campaign main missions. You want to do side missions, boom, you got your side missions right here. Just R2, L or R1, R1, L1, boom, 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 swap between the two. Shows you what you want to see too. You can change the difficulty, story, action, hard, right? You can item details, you can see what's in here. That way you can kind of see what's going on, what you're going to get out of there, what it's going to kind of look like, etc., etc., etc. It's all right there. And then all you have to do is just ready up. And once you ready up, it'll launch you into the mission. That's it. That's how quick it is. That's how simple it is. Right? And you can even go into the room settings at any time and change up things. And change up the password at any time. You can literally change up the play styles, the teammates that you want to allow, all of it. You can change it all up. Boom. On the fly, in the lobby, doesn't matter. Right. And people, again, people have been wanting this kind of thing in Outriders. Y'all have been wanting this forever. You know? Y'all have been wanting this shit forever. And now, I'm going to just go ahead and showcase a little bit of gameplay real quick. Just to show you guys what the gameplay is like. I'll go ahead and do a side mission. It's a level 68 with an average equipment level of 69. Just because it's the highest that I have right now. I won't do too much, but I'll just showcase some of it. Just so you guys can kind of see the combat flow. And then also see how fast the loading screens are, like in between. Okay, boom. Start in. Swap in. Whoop. They have hidden rooms, like before, if you didn't notice, this was a wall. You can bust through here. There's a hidden little thing here that you can get gear from. Alright, come through here. So there's like little puzzle type ordeal areas and stuff in the game that are really cool. We'll come through here. I got poisoned. I'm also not really playing by hardest or anything here. I'm literally just playing the showcase. See, those right there, what he just did to me right there, is a unblockable attack. The enemies actually in this game can do unblockable attacks where they'll throw you on the ground and you can't do anything about it, and they can literally just attack you freely to do damage. And those do happen frequently. They do happen quite a lot. But yeah. See if I can soul shield. He hit me with that again. See, I caught it, and then I hit him with it. The soul shield allows you to steal their stuff, as you just seen. And if you can see all the gear that I'm pulling too. Right? Like all this gear. It's amazing. You come here. See, you got like little hidden things. It's literally just like a regular Final Fantasy. Like with the little hidden stuff in it. Like this little thing right here. Of course, you're in a temple. Why wouldn't there be traps? You know. See, there you go, and another unblockable attack. Got your chests, like normal. Just come in here. You do your thing, you do your thing. Let's see if there's anything else I can showcase before we end it. I'll swap to my Pally. Instead of playing as my Dragoon, swap to my Pally. Oh, didn't even know that he was about to detonate. That works. Oh, popped his ass. And I'm mainly just running around right now because the cool thing with the side missions is they have their objectives, but they have gear, right? Like there's chests in here that you can get loot from. So what I've basically been doing is leveling up all my jobs in missions like this. And while I'm leveling up the jobs, I'm just going through and getting my gear level up. So that way I'm at gear level for the current area. And you can do that in missions like this, especially missions like this one right here. This one's real easy. Like, technically, I could have been done this one a long time ago. Because this one's, technically, you gotta just pop open a chest and get a 5-star trident out of it. Like, that's its main purpose of the side quest. And essentially, you can get it out of any chest in the entire area. So if you know where the chests are in the side quest, you can just go ahead and fucking cap it out. But I'll show you how easy it is. Right, this was our starting room right here. Come through here. across here, drop down, right? Now, we went this way, right, well, we killed the horse, and we could have just turned here. Went right down here, and now we're on bottom floor. And yes, you get like covered in blood. It's not your average Final Fantasy. Like, you get drenched and covered in blood. It's so dark. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Okay, would you come in here? And then, boom. Whoop. Got it. See? Acquired trident. Boom. Completed. And like all covered in blood. And there it is. That's your side mission. You can either go around and collect everything, kill everything, get yourself some loot, or just run straight through it and finish it. Either way, you have the option to do whatever you want. It's kind of like it's not linear, to say the least. But anyway, yep, there you go. You see how that is. Boom, that's done. Come over here. In that entire run, I had a few items. I don't think I had much. Couldn't dismantle. I'm up to 169 items. All these ones with exclamation points were picked up during that run alone. These are just weapons. And then gear, all right here. Were all picked up during that one run. All right there. And let's see. Let's see if they gave me anything better than what I had, right? Did they give me anything better? Let's see. Boom. Nope, not on there. This one updated, if you can tell. You've seen the colors change. This one definitely changed. You see her go into Dragon Helm gear. Him, nothing really changed, just affinities. He's still the same, and I'm still the same. And there you go. That's exactly how it is. That's how the game is. That's how the game plays. It's really fun. It makes Outriders its bitch. Deadass. The story has been phenomenal so far. It's dark. It's not your typical Final Fantasy. I absolutely love it. As you can see, between the demo and the full game so far, I'm up to about 115 hours into it and just farming. I know when I get to late game, people are going to be all like, oh, you had to have modded that. There's no way you have all those items. But I have all of those items. From just farming, I have all of those items. And they all, like, they max out for your materials and stuff. They max out at 999. So... but anyway, that yawn means I need to fucking get some coffee, maybe even go to bed. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. This game is honestly becoming one of my favorite games this year. I know a lot of people probably haven't heard of it, like I mentioned before, and that's kind of why I'm showcasing it now. A lot of my community comes from Outriders, and honestly, I'm trying to look out for y'all. The Outriders community got dicked, to be fair. Like, the game, basically, if you want content, you gotta wait till people can fly, can move, and put things out. At least this game right here has some actual, like, you know, playability. And there's stuff in there. And it's actually fun. You know, you have build opportunities. You can do this, you can do that. And if you're going to go for a perfect build, at least you can farm different affinities. And you can change things to your own liking. Build your characters the way you guys want to build. You know, if you like a certain style, farm out that piece of gear and fucking put it on and do what you want with it. You feel me? Like, this game gives you way more love than what Outriders ever gave you. But it's your boy. I love you guys. I'm out. Sorry for the long video. If you enjoyed it, drop a follow, drop a subscription. Come follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/godified_. Love you guys. I'm out. Peace.